Hi folks, so today I'm going to show you a very quick and easy way to create a formative assessment using Google Forms. So here I'm starting in Google Drive, and just as a review, I can get to Google Drive from this tic-tac-toe board, pretty much anywhere I see that tic-tac-toe board, and then I'm going to select Drive. I'm going to click the New button. I'm going to go under More, and I'm going to go to Google Forms. And because I'm going to set this one up as a quiz, I'm actually going to put my mouse over the arrow and select from a template. When I select from a template, it will show me a bunch of pre-formatted forms that I can use depending on the situation. The one I'm going to use today is a blank quiz. It's the top one here on the list. So the blank quiz is going to give me pretty much the most basic assessment that I'm going to want to use. And the real big difference between just going with a straight Google form and going with a blank quiz is this is going to auto score some of the questions and provide me with a way to code my answers in this answer key. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a title. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give the file a name. So up where it says blank quiz, I'm going to click and enter a file name here. So then I'm going to go down to where it says untitled question. This is where I'm going to start adding my questions. So for the first one, I want to know what is the correct type of bread? And I'm going to give some options. Okay, so now once I have all of my options here, I'm going to code the correct answer by going into the answer key and selecting white. Now this also gives me an option to give some feedback, and I can enter feedback for either the incorrect answers or the correct answers or both. So here with incorrect answers, I'm going to say choose again. And for correct answers, I'm going to say great job. Okay, I can also link to websites or to videos if I want to provide that kind of feedback to my students as well. The next thing I'm going to want to make sure that I do is add some points here. So this time I'm going to make this question out of 2 points. I'm going to award 2 points for the correct answer on this question. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add another question. So I'm going to come over to the right here and click the plus sign. Now here I'm going to ask what the correct bread should look like. Now this type of question I'm going to be using pictures as the answer. So I'm going to hover my mouse over option 1 here, and all the way on the right hand side you'll see a button to add an image. So I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to search for this image. I can either upload it from my Google Drive, or if I have a URL for that, I can do it as well. Or if I just have it on my computer, I can drag it onto here. But here I'm going to click on search. And then I'm going to select from a bunch of pictures that they have. So here I'm going to put toast. All right, and then it attaches that image to the question. So here I have option 1, and I can change the title of that if I want. Otherwise, I can just leave it the way it is, and then go down to add option and add another image. And I'm going to continue doing this until I have enough images ready to go. Perfect. And again, I'm going to go into my answer key. I'm going to award 2 points for this, and I'm going to select this as my correct answer. And I'm not going to provide any feedback for this question. Now, on this Google form, I can also add things like videos, pictures, different titles and descriptions, and I can break this up into multiple sections, but I'll cover those kinds of things in a later video. Realistically, I just want you to kind of get in and look at what types of questions are available and things like that. So here I have an option to do a short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, checkboxes, a drop down. I can have students upload a file if I want. I can have them choose from a linear scale or multiple choice grid or checkbox. So here I am going to do a linear scale, and I'm going to ask the students how well they feel like they know how to choose the correct type of bread. And because this is an opinion question, I'm not going to be able to score it, but I do want to give a couple points just to have the student reflect back, and I really want to be able to give them a couple points for that. So when I'm ready to take a look at it, I can hit the preview button, which is this eyeball up in the corner, and this is what it's going to look like from the student's perspective. And then, of course, they'll hit submit to lock in their answers. So one thing I wanted to mention was how to assign this type of form to your class. So if you're actually looking at the form, what you can do is you can go up to the top right-hand corner of your Chrome browser window. This only works in Chrome. It doesn't work in the other browsers. But what you should find up there is a Share to Classroom button. It kind of looks like the classroom icon. And if you click on it, you'll be able to see usually all of your classes. You can choose the class that you want to drop this into, and you'll have the option to either push it to your students, which means if your students are sitting in front of you and they have their Chromebooks open, again, this will only work in Chrome, so mainly on the students' Chromebook devices. You can actually push this form directly to their screens. It'll pop up on their screen, and it's like magic. The other thing you can do is you can create an assignment. So by doing that, I can give it a title. I can give some instructions. I can assign a certain number of points. I can give it a due date. I can put it in a particular topic, whatever I want to do. And then this last button down here allows us to import the grades. So whenever a student fills out the form and it auto scores it, it can bring the grades right into Google Classroom. That way the students can see their grades, the parents can see the grades, kind of all of that gets done automatically. So when I have all of that filled out, I can either assign it at that moment, or I can hit the drop down arrow and schedule it for a later date. So for this, I'm going to assign now. And there it goes. It lets me know that it was posted to my class, and if I want to take a look at it, I click the view button, switch over to classwork, and click on the assignment. And there it is. So I've assigned it to 2 students, and when I want to take a look at the responses, I can click there, and it will show me the responses on the Responses tab, or I can break this out into a Google Sheet that I can see all of the students and what their answers were, and I can do some kind of data diving on that. So that is creating a quick formative assessment using Google Forms and assigning it to your class. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.